Domain knowledge is very, very important in marine. Without that, doing surveys is probably not the right thing to do on a half knowledge. So I would request these guys to acquire a marine knowledge, or if they already have a marine knowledge, then they should look at as to what kind of marine knowledge that they have. If they have a sailing experience on ships, they have sailed on commercial ship. You see, it's very highly domain oriented and skill profession. So domain knowledge is very, very important in marine. Without that, doing surveys is probably not the right thing to do on a half knowledge. Now, marine surveys are typically an entity which is sent on board for a purpose to see whether the intended operation is properly done or not. So, or would it have any risk angle to it by the way of the condition of the ship, or condition of the cargo, or condition of the carriage policies, requirements, because all this shipping in the entire shipping industry is governed by something called as International Safety Management Code. Yeah, education part, of course, is maritime domain knowledge is very important. The domain knowledge can be gathered by either by doing a formal education into shipping, or becoming a BSc nautical science graduate, or a marine engineer from the Directorate of Marine Engineering Technology colleges. Or there are many colleges in India who do this kind of pre-sea training courses. Then you can join a ship either as a deck cadet or an engineer, and then rise up to the ranks of deck officer or an engineer. The final rank on board is a captain. But you see, there are also short-term courses available these days where you can get this marine knowledge. You don't need to be there for 10 years in a maritime field to become a surveyor. But if you have those 10 years and you can spend, so you can be rest assured that you will definitely do well in this field. For a marine, unless you're a marine, guy, or who has acquired marine education, you would not be able to perform as a surveyor. Because see, sometimes it's very easier to get a job or assignment, but then when you want to continue in a field, then your job must speak. So the job to speak, you need to have that knowledge, that kind of delivery of the requirements, of the regulatory. Like I told you about maritime knowledge, understanding of maritime regulations and standards. Also, you need to have a knowledge about, ship construction, a naval architecture, which is a different field, marine engineering. After having maritime knowledge, you need to have certain technical aptitude. Very important word. You see, you may have a knowledge, but if you don't have a proficiency with the various surveying equipments and tools, then again that maritime knowledge is of no use, because you have to put that information what you have got in the academics through the experience into the knowledge, and then you develop that experience or that knowledge into expertise. Third quality that you need to have is a very good analytical skill. You see, why I've listed this down? Because simple reason that you need to go in this fashion. Now, once you have a technical aptitude, you know the proficiency, you have gained the proficiency of using the equipment, then what the equipments tell you or the readings that are given need to be analyzed. And this analysis, you are into the world of AI and machine learning now. So much of analysis paralysis goes on in the industry, other industry as well. So analyzing complex data or a raw data is very important. The fourth important quality for a marine surveyor is to have attention to detail. Now, this is something which has to be inbuilt into you. Nobody can teach you this. You need to have very strong verbal, written communication skills, which are not only essential for interacting with the client and for conveying survey findings, but also for making the comprehensive reports. So the problem solving ability is something which is again, which can be acquired through the practice. So, marine surveyors do need that. You need to have a physical strength and agility. That's very important kind of quality, because there are a lot of areas on ship which are very hard to reach. See, it's very important that, when you want to get a specialized skill set, then you have to spend time.
Definitely.
So that investing of time and effort is very important. That's why these professions start at the age of, a very young age. I joined ship when I was only 18. One. Number two is it's a hard life. You see, you should be cut out for this kind of life. Why it is hard life? Because it is a lonely life. So you need to have a character of that kind where you can, indulge yourself into a self activity, self reading books, have some hobbies which can be done, absolutely social animal cannot survive in this field. Every career has got this plus or minuses. You know, Balancing work life is very important today. Like you must socialize with people, you must have spend your own me time. So condition survey is something like overall condition of the vessel, like how structures are, how integrity is, and all about it. So there is also something called as a hull survey. Hull survey is about again the structure which the ship is around which the ship is built. So that is very another very important. There are cracks, there are deformations, there are damages, there are accidents. So where there's one important term which is used here in the by the regulation is seaworthiness. Seaworthiness means whether vessel can sail into the sea and oceans. Different conditions are there. So no water should come in, no water should go out, or no cargo should go out, that kind of thing. There are a lot of cargo surveys, like cargo surveys are the surveys which are cargoes are carried on ship, by the way. So you all know that the transportation of cargo, like you've seen a lot of trucks loading a lot of material inside. So surveying that material, whether it is transportable or not, or how it is to be stored, how it is to be packed, how it is to be secured, and how to prevent it from getting damaged. That is cargo survey. Classification survey is something that, as I told you about registry of the ships, there's a societies like ABS, Lloyd's Register, DNV, Bureau Veritas. These societies are the one who classify ships and give a guarantee, of course at certain fees, that the ships are in compliance with the all relevant international regulation and convention. So that there are class surveys which are very highly regulated. Again, they have a rules books and things like that. So you must have a knowledge about them. There are certain surveys which are statutory surveys, which are mandatory for safety, environmental, operational standards. For example, if you see that I told you about IMO and SOLAS. So SOLAS and MARPOL, these two conventions are to be followed by each and every vessel. So these requirements of construction, carrying cargo, safety of navigation, safety of environment, safety of crew on board, these kind of surveys are must for every vessel. So statutory surveys are something which require different skill set, which I told you again, those 10 sets are enough, but again, to understand those surveys and those requirements. There's something called as pre-purchase surveys. Like, you buy a car and you show it to your mechanic, how the car is. The mechanic tells you, okay, isme ye problem hai, this could be having this issue, or maybe after 1 year, this will have this issue. So pre-purchase survey or buying survey for the ship is similar kind of guidelines. The surveyor need to have a value. He should understand what is the condition, what is the value, how long the vessel can run, what all cargoes can it carry. So this is like giving your opinion to the new buyer about the ship. The damage surveys which are done post-accident and incidents. There are a lot of accidents and incidents happen like grounding, where a ship touches the bottom, collision, where one ship hits the other ship or other structure, So these kind of accidents also demand something called as damage survey. When you say damage survey, then of course it involves investigation into damage, what is the repair cost, whether it can be, whose mistake was that, whose liability now, and all those things, First of all, you need to be a recognized professional into marine industry. Now, how to become recognized? Well, I told you about becoming a nautical officer or engineering officer on board, to understand the knowledge and demonstrate that you are a certified officer or a marine officer on board. I have served on board. A lot of surveying companies and associations only accredit you when you have a required experience in the relevant field. The Institute of Marine Surveying, IMS, which only certifies marine surveyor who have acquired experience, knowledge, and expertise in a field. They do also give you training, education, professional development, and all that they will help you with. But then basic education, basic, time spending in the field is required. There's a nautical institute, which also gives you a lot of accreditation on the, offshore vessels which are working for the oil rigs and things like that. So they have also a sort of certification scheme for this. There is also American Boat and Yacht Council, which gives you a certification program. There's also a Lloyd's Academy, which also gives you, trains you first in marine surveying. So it's best to undergo a specialized course of a marine surveying. There are a lot of diploma courses, there are degree courses, there are short-term courses about this. American Society of Appraisers, ASA, they accredit the surveys. They're specialized in giving you the accreditation for the vessel appraisals and all that. So those are also very important with respect to the insurance, financing, legal matters. If you are required. There's a RENA, Royal Institute of Naval Architects. Bureau Veritas, Lloyd's Register, DNVGL. All these class societies also prepare maritime professionals into a surveying profession. So they have a training courses. Plus, after you complete their training and excel and pass out of the training, they would definitely give you a certification and also a job if you need. But I tell you, marine surveyors' pay scales are much more as you gain knowledge, expertise, because you are paid always as per expert. Like salvage, one of the operations where you recover the vessels from the bottom of the sea. Those kind of surveys are very, very expensive, because those expertise are something, which pay you because there's something big at stake. I think in India, a surveyor would get paid anything between 60 to 80,000 rupees a month, to start with, and then of course, as he gains the expertise, he climbs up. In this place where I work, depending on what surveys I do. Since I have my own company, we charge anything from $2,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 for a survey. So the range is very high. But all again, you have to gain that expertise. You have to be a delivery man of what is required by the circumstances. Without that, you won't be able to demand a kind of high salary. But I promise you that there are very high kind of remunerations available in this field, provided you gain that expertise.